with me tonight to discuss the fallout from the PDP National Convention, including the expulsion of key members of his faction and their planned factional NEC and BOT meetings scheduled for Tuesday, is Abraham Amah from the camp of the FCT minister. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, it's my pleasure to be with you.
Great. I mean, a good place to start would be to get your immediate reaction to the decision of your party or your former party, as you are one of the 11 that have been expelled. But then again, you are calling for a NEC and a BOT meeting. On what grounds do you call for such meetings as expelled members?
First and foremost, I want to extend my very, very heartfelt sympathy to the families affected following the kidnap of over 25 girls from the state of Taminu, Saraki. It's quite unfortunate that that is happening. And I will have, if my community is in such a turmoil, I will not engage myself on any turmoil outside my community. I will first and foremost go back home and make sure that everything is well. But now, coming back to the so-called Ibadan Convention.
But he's not the governor of the state.
Talking about the Ibadan Convention, what happened at Ibadan was not a national convention.
What was it?
It didn't meet the requirements of a national convention. Political parties in Nigeria are regulated by the Independent National Electoral Commission. And then there are extant laws. We have the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended. We have the Electoral Act 2022 as amended. And then we have the Constitution of our party. Certain requirements must be met before you convene a national convention. And one of such requirements is that when you talk about a convention, or even of the Nigerian Bar Association or any professional body, first and foremost, in a country with a federal outlook like Nigeria, the first thing you do, you sort out the congresses at the state level, where you generate the delegates who will be qualified for the national convention. And it is on public records that up to 14 states are yet to conclude their congresses. If you go to INEC, you cannot assess the executive of those 19 states. One of those 19 states is Edo, and several other states. You cannot assess their delegates. And now you have a people going for national convention. We went to court to tell, when we tried to engage the suspended and former national chairman, Damagu, we tried to talk to him that I am from Abia. I'm the state chairman of Abia. You cannot go for a national convention at a time when we have states in Southeast where issues of conventions have not been resolved. The implication is that you are surcharging us. The implication is that if we are supposed to find 100, maybe let me take a scale of 100, 100 delegates from Southeast, we'll end up having only 30 delegates because the only states with ESCO recognized as of today by INEC is Abia and Imo. There are no ESCO for Anambra and Ebonyi. And for Enugu, the governor just left with the entire state ESCO to APC. So why do you go for a state national convention when these issues have not been resolved? And you also go to a national convention, and even before the election, you also suspended or dissolved the executives of 3 states.
5 actually.
5 states.
Including your state.
Including my state. Yes. Before the convention. And which also because those things, if you had wanted to do those things, you should have resolved those things before a national convention. But you came to the national convention and disenfranchised them right before their face for those who attended.
Well, that's not what the governor of or your state said when he addressed the convention. He did reiterate that the PDP has held its caucuses from the ward levels up until, holding this national convention. But my question really
the governor of Oyo
yes.
was not the chairman of that convention. The chairman of that convention is the governor of Plateau State. It was not in his place because he is one of the major factors that caused the whole of this problem, because he was so desperate to make sure that that convention hold. Even against the court judgment two court judgments.
But they also went to court and they have a judgment that gave them go ahead for that convention.
They had no judgment.
Mr. Amah, the convention is the highest decision-making organ of your party. And Article 31, I believe, is Section 33, subsection 2 of the party's convention, does give the convention powers to carry out decisions, including the expulsion and dissolution of those party structures that it has now carried out. So again, my question to you, and I'm asking you ahead of your meeting tomorrow, on what basis, on what locus are you meeting tomorrow to hold that NEC and BOT meeting? And finally to you, because we are almost out of time, is what is your end goal? Is it that the PDP should not have candidates ahead of the 2027 elections?
No, I agree with you about the position of what the constitution of our party says about the National Convention. But the National Convention has not taken place. What happened at Ibadan was not a National Convention. It did not meet the requirements. Every industry is regulated. Our political parties in Nigeria are regulated by INEC. What happened at Ibadan does not amount to a national convention. And let me tell you this, after every congress or every convention, the first thing that happens is that those in office before that election took place will write INEC, because INEC recognized them, and tell them that these are our new officers. Nobody have sent any letter introducing Turaki SAN to INEC. So he is an interloper. He does not merit the position he is taking. He cannot speak for himself. He cannot inaugurate himself. It is not in his place to do what he is doing at the moment. At the very best, it is the responsibility of the officers who were on seats before he was elected to do what he's trying to do. He cannot inaugurate himself.
What's your end goal, very quickly?
Our end goal is to make sure that we run a party that will respect the rule of law, which is the supremacy of the law as administered by the court of the land.
All right.
That is our goal and our mission, and we will achieve it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Abraham. Amah is of the PDP camp, loyal to the FCT Minister Newsom Wike and expelled 11. Thank you so much for being on the news tonight.
It's my pleasure to be with you.
Appreciate your time.